now let's have a look at Big Daddy and all his flow there. 17 stone, 8 pound Riddicke Bowe. Hasn't really shifted a lot of weight at all, although Buster Mathis, well, just like his old dad, wasn't he? He fought Ali and Fraser, who looked a bit like him. He's got the gold stripe on and a rather large stump to go with it too, Buster, but he's in good shape, unbeaten. He weighed 16 stone and a couple of ounces. So now let's see now whether Bowe's knocked himself into condition. That is, I mean, Evander Holyfield kind of lived off the fat of Bowe in many ways in 2 great fights, no doubt about that. Certainly 2 of the best heavyweight fights I've seen anyway, and of the last decade, despite the rude interruption by the crazy paraglider. Just as well that Eddie the Eagle wasn't following him that night. So now can Mathis put up a show? It's scheduled for 10, and it's a, well, hard old crowd here in Atlantic City, I'll tell you that. They want to see some action. They won't go for Buster backing off like this. And they'll expect Bowe to look the part, because a fight with Lennox Lewis would loom, who formerly held the WBC championship and relinquished it. And that's how Lewis was handled it. Referee Arthur McCanty, I think, is probably one of the best in the world, but can't referee in Britain anymore because he's overage. He's in his middle 70s. He's a remarkable man. Well, it looks as though he's trying to bide his time a bit here, Bowe. But at best, I find him very impressive for what. Beaten, of course, by Lewis in the Seoul Olympics. And he's, well, really burned up about that and badly wants the fight. He's had his chances with Lewis, and now Lewis is in the driving seat. Down as he keeps stooping down like Mathis. He's going to get them on the back of his neck, I think. Look at that one. That would have taken his head off if it had landed. So now he's trying to just bend down with him a bit now. Shoot an uppercut, I would think, any time. Bowe, he's got a good versatile boxing. He uses any sort of punch. I know his trainer Eddie Futch has, well, really worked at him and said, you've got to get in shape, because when you are, you could be the best heavyweight in the world. He thinks he still is. So he's got to punch down, Bowe. He's not too happy about that. 6'5". He's the USBA champion, Buster Mathis Jr., as we come up to the end of the opening round. Defeated Terrell Biggs. Oh, nearly after the bell just as well. That didn't land, or that was on the bell, really, and the punch was on its way. Well, sort of a big stroll back there. Hoping it was a handover at the end of that, I think.
Doing with the big right hand. Okay, come down. Yeah. Keep the pressure on. Hey. Then you get him in the corner or in the rope, and he's like, won't leave me. When he tries to counter on your face, then you counter on him.
The voices of the experts, as they always are.
You got underneath him. Right?
He's a ringer for that, this fellow. I like to watch dear old Buster Mathis. He was a good game guy, and he's been not in any good shape at all lately. His health's been bad, and a huge man he's become.
You're way too fast. Okay. So now I want to go to work. Okay. Right? I want some noise out of you.
24 years old, this fellow.
Noise out there, buddy. Give me some noise. Okay?
Out for the second round then. And, well, Riddicke Bowe having a bit of trouble trying to catch this fellow. He's not exactly shifty at 16 stone, but he ducks and dives a bit cleverly, and he doesn't like the punching down bit by the look of it, Bowe. If I get him to stand up, I think he'll nail him. And the odds players in Atlantic City, of course, heavily. Oh, well, come on, when you're going to fight, he says. But I don't blame Mathis. His game plan was to dive in and out all the time, not to be a stationary target. I think I'd do the same if I was fighting Riddicke Bowe. Been a couple of postponements of this fight. He's, well, the word around the fight game was that he couldn't get the weight down, but on the other hand, he claimed that he'd injured his back in training, and there's no reason why we shouldn't believe him. That's it. The crowd are livening up a bit, and so is Mathis, and that suits Bowe. He wants to rough him up.
Let's have a break.
He's got a bit of a problem there, Arthur McCantius. As good as he is at pulling these fellas apart. Should have made a break call, really. He's hitting and holding there.
No kidney punches. No kidney punches.
Yeah, on the other hand, he's quite right, McCanty. No kidney punches, but Mathis was pulling him on there. To repeat, he's unbeaten in 14 fights, Buster Mathis, so he wouldn't be looking to lie down, I'll tell you that. This is a real good chance for him to get in the big time. He's a gutsy kid. Oh dear, though, this man's full of power.
Hi, no kidney punches. Let's have a break. Let's have a
27 years old this week, Riddicke Bowe.
Stop holding, Buster.
Well, this referee was onto that, and so were we early on. He was holding a bit.
No kidney punching.
Tough man to fight, Riddicke Bowe, isn't he? You can see what a good performance that was now of Lennox Lewis in the Olympic Games final there. He really did a good job with this fellow. Kept him on the end of a left hand and stopped him. But since then, as a pro, Riddicke Bowe has come on a great deal, no doubt about it. The fights with Holyfield, as I said in the opening round, they were brilliant. But the weight, that's another matter. He was 16-11 when he had his first fight with Evander Holyfield. Then had 2 defences which didn't mean anything. And weighed 17-8 last November, his last fight, and now he's a pound heavier. So the talk about Bowe getting weight off just hasn't true. On the schedule 10. And so far, back from Mathis Jr. there, just to be identifying the striped trunks. And, slightly more rotund than the other one, but not too much. And he's putting up a fair show, really, Mathis. A lot of people thought he'd get taken out earlier. And Bowe's trying hard enough. Maybe it's not a question of a carrying job here. He'd love to be able to nail them. He certainly did it with Jesse Ferguson and Mike Dokes. This one's younger and a little livelier than both of those. Don't blame him being defensive, Mathis. He's got to go for it a bit. Just trying to keep him upright, isn't he there, Bowe? Notice that he's jabbing out with the left hand, trying to lift his head up a bit. And then he'll shoot that right hand punch in. That's a damaging blow, that. And promoters are already licking their lips at the prospect of Bowe getting back in the big time, possibly beating Lennox Lewis, and then if Mike Tyson comes back in the game, as he will, well, 2 boys from Brooklyn battling out, they get a fortune.
Step back. Don't hit on a break.
But I think Lennox Lewis will have other ideas about that. He's just getting a bit ponderous now, Riddicke Bowe, which surprises me, because in the fights with Holyfield, which may have taken something out of him, they were so hard. Not now. He wants to swap punches with Mathis. That's exactly what, but he won't have it, Mathis. There he is, holding on cleverly there, blindside the referee. But it's not that blind, he's tumbled it.
Stop holding, stop holding.
Well, he's ignored that, hasn't he, Mathis? I don't blame him. I think he's tasted 1 or 2 little shots there and saying, well, if this fella catches me clean, I'm in trouble.
Second warning.
Oh, well, he'll take the point away if he does it again. He shouldn't do that.
Stop holding.
He's got to a good variety of punches, Riddicke Bowe. If he got half a stone or a stone off, he really is some fighter. Coming up for the end of the third. And now, well, he's always on top and the governor, as they say in boxing. Fourth round now. And, well, so far Buster Mathis hasn't won too much. He's been warned for holding, and Bowe hasn't looked really that sharp, has he? Carrying that weight again, I'm sure, has done it. And being out the ring since last November. That's it, he's doubling up the jab a bit now. It looks like he's going for it, Bowe. He's trying to straighten him up with that uppercut. Well, how's it feel to be in there with them? Look at the size of these guys when you get that camera shot. Hard game, isn't it? He's happy to stand there and trade it out in the corner, Bowe. He knows he's the stronger man and the harder puncher.
Let's go. Stop holding, Buster.
Yeah, he's in trouble. He'll take another point. I'd say another A point away from him there, McCanty. So blatant. A bit like a sort of sailor grabbing the mast in a storm, isn't it, the way he's hanging on there, Mathis? Yeah, he's looking a bit nearer the world champion that he was here, Riddicke Bowe.
All right, break! Stop holding.
Well, I tend to think to get a little bit frustrated with this fellow. There's a sign there. That was just on the temple there, that one. That buckled the legs a bit of Mathis. That's more like Bowe at his best now coming in. Oh dear, oh dear. Looks as though he was on one knee when he hit him there. Don't know what's going to happen here now. Pulling out the gum shield, so it's all over and there's a lot of booing going on. And definitely he was on one knee, but it was whether the punch was on its way or not. And it didn't look it looked as though he deliberately threw the punch, and he's explaining it to him, Riddicke Bowe. McCanty's not too pleased with that, and I think he should be disqualified if what I saw is okay. And the crowd are booing, so they don't like it. There's the manager, Rock Newman, a man who's never short of saying 10 words when one would do. So there's a conference going on now. They're complaining in Mathis' corner. And Larry Hazard, the commissioner of the New Jersey Control Board, he'll advise the referee here, but normally there he is, Larry Hazard, and he usually makes his own rules. Now let's have another look at that, because we can see it clearly, I think, here. Yeah, he's gone down on the right knee, yes, and here comes the punch. Well, that's, isn't it? I mean, so blatant, that should be a disqualification. But they'll probably argue, the New Jersey Commission. Let's have a look at it again. The Commission might say, let's call it a no contest, and that really would get Riddicke Bowe off the hook. But it didn't get him off that hook, Buster Mathis. He wasn't going to get up from that. So the final arguments, and well, I would think they're going to make this a no contest. Here it comes.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Convention Center here in Atlantic City, New Jersey, an intentional foul sustained to Principal Buster Mathis Jr. Therefore, the New Jersey State Athletic Control Board declares this bout a no contest. A no contest.
Well, the crowd doesn't like it. Certainly Mathis won't. And if it's an intentional foul, I really don't understand how they can override that. And I'm sure that the referee wanted to disqualify it.
The usual hustlings in boxing. Now here's two experts, Frank Warren and Mickey Duff. Mickey, surely